Who is flooding the country with cheap labor and spending into oblivion?
Go watch his video. It's a real quick one, and it really sums up the problem about cheap labor and billionaires and stuff. But let me ask people this question: If you could get rid of the cheap labor, who's going to do those jobs? I mean, we saw in Florida what happened when all the laborers left out of fear of being deported. But are you going to go work the fields, picking crops for sub minimum wage? Can you afford to live on $3-4 an hour? Can you? Working 12-hour days? All you people complain about the cheap labor flooding the country, but I haven't seen any of you people apply for those jobs. I haven't seen you report undocumented workers and then go apply to that employer. I haven't seen you apply to those jobs and accept those crappy wages. But wages have slipped, and you won't work them. Somebody has to. The reality in this country is, whether you like it or not, immigrant labor is something this country relies on. Now, do I think we should be paying these people piss poor? No, but I definitely think there are ways to make it so that we can have migrant labor or immigrant labor handling the jobs that normal Americans won't do. Now, that being said, if you don't want the immigrants if you don't want illegal immigrants or just immigrants in general doing the labor, and to let you know, it's not just illegal immigrants, it's not just that. Companies outsource all sorts of labor to other countries. You know how it is? You can't get good tech support anymore because you're talking to someone in India or Taiwan or Korea. It's because those companies have chose to outsource it. Your job didn't get stolen by an illegal immigrant. The company that you bought product from to increase their profit margins bought labor at a call center, is what they did. I'm a technician. Tech jobs are hard to find because nobody wants to hire frontline technicians in a tier 1, tier 2 position anymore because they'd rather have it outsourced to India or Taiwan or Korea. But beyond that, I mean, how do you expect this to get better? Because I'm all for good solutions here. Either you embrace the idea, all of you embrace the idea that we need that type of labor here, and we accept those people and embrace them with open arms to do the work that you won't do and appreciate them for the gift they are to this country, for willing to put up with this crap here, because to some of those people, the wages are good because they can send it back home to their families who need it. And I don't like that. I don't think people should be forced to do that. It's unfair. It's not right. But if you're not going to allow that, then we've got to fix the housing market and a few other things to make it more fair. So which do you want? Do you want the cheap migrant labor, or do you want a system that's better for all? You got to pick one because you can't have both. And I would prefer the system that's better for all. I would love to have more immigrants in this country to broaden the palette of this country. I am filled with joy when I hear that white is becoming a minority. Oh, I cannot wait for the day. I hope I'm alive to see that, because this country will be more flavorful, more colorful, and more beautiful as a result, and more diverse and open. But in the meantime, if you don't understand what's going on, stop blaming the wrong people, because you're just pointing fingers because somebody else told you to point a finger. You don't know the ins and outs of it. But you can't have it both ways. You can't. It doesn't work that way, and it won't, for the reasons that you can't have one excuse and expect the other to work. They don't. But this can be fixed. There is something that fixes it. And let's say you get deportation. Let's say they deport all the illegals. Let's say it's a perfect scenario. All the illegals are deported. All of the immigrants are deported. Florida got very empty and projects fell apart. That's what's going to happen, because you're not going to go pick up a hammer and work for sub minimum wage. You're not going to go build a house for $5 an hour. As it is, you guys complain about the pay. So what is your solution? And why do you keep blaming immigrants, even though it's the problem you seem to think is the problem isn't as bad? There are not people hopping fences suddenly just taking jobs. There are some people that are just here for refugee status, that just want to be out of harm's way. They're not just immediately stealing jobs. And why aren't you getting pissed off with the employer hiring illegals? What's the deal with that?